This is Lil Breadstick. Right now, Lil Breadstick has $0, a Spotify account, and a dream. But in this video, we are going to walk him from broke to $100,000 in music revenue. And we're going to show you guys every move that we make along the way.
Lil Breadstick came to us. He was like, Ben, Henry, I love what you guys are doing for the independent artist community. I need you guys on the team. I need you to manage me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
He taps into the show and he approached us and we are like, yeah, we see the vision, Lil Bread.
He played us a couple demos.
Yeah, gluten tapes, V1.
We loved them. We saw the vision.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, Lil Breadstick, let's fucking do this shit, okay? But yeah, no, honestly, this whole episode kind of came from an episode we did with Ty Baisden, who's business partners, manager to Brent Faiyaz, right? And he said if he would have started Brent's career today, he would have been solely focused on direct to fan.
They did it solely on streaming.
Exactly.
It's just not as possible anymore, guys. That'll be a part. You'll see our framework, but not now.
Shit's different.
It's different.
And so we're trying to get you paid today in 2026.
Yes. So we developed a framework called the 100K stack. It consists of 5 layers that we're going to fill up in order along the episode. You guys can follow along. And we're going to get this man paid, man, like he deserves. He's so talented.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, right? This framework is based on the fact that you're not going viral. You're not having some super lucky viral moment. Okay?
Well, you might.
No, and that should just be the icing on the cake, though.
We're not banking on it.
We're not banking on that at all. Like everyone, including Lil Breadstick in this exact, I can't believe you called him that.
It's the best.
It's the worst. It's
the best name.
We're gonna run with it. Henry really lobbied for him to be called Lil Breadstick, so I had to, it's just one I had to give to him. But no, so this whole framework can work for you guys too. Again, viral moments. We love them.
Crazy record deal, not necessarily happening.
Rich uncle.
Yeah.
By all means, if you've got them, use them.
Nah, Uncle PETA is not in the mix.
How many bread puns are we going to do?
I'm running out. But point is, where you guys are going to follow along, I'm going to put a little money counter on the screen to follow along in Lil Breadstick's journey. We're starting at $0. And without further ado, let's get into the 100K stack. All right, so layer 1, we are calling the front door. We got to walk in the front door, right? And this is actually where the streaming is going to live, believe it or not, because the main point here is that we are not counting on streaming as a significant layer. It is a layer of our revenue. It is a piece, but it is not the whole game like it was for Ty and Brent back in the day.
Yeah, but the way everyone needs to be looking at streaming is from a discovery perspective, all right? So it's huge for discovery, and it is where a lot of people obviously do listen to music, clearly, right?
It's hard to argue that fact.
Yeah, so like step 1 of Lil Breadstick's journey has to be getting his music out on streaming platforms. It needs to be available for consumption. Okay, it sounds basic, but again, we're starting from 0, broke, hasn't even released music, to 100K in revenue. That's the whole premise.
We're reducing the friction here. If someone hears about him, they need to be able to go to where they go to listen to music, type in Lil Breadstick, and find gluten tapes V1. It's a great name, right? He came up with it. Don't look at me. So how are we going to do that? We're going to point Lil Breadstick at the sponsor of today's video, DistroKid, because for the low price of $25 a year, I almost said month, a year, Lil Breadstick can distribute unlimited music to every single platform that we need to get him on for discovery and keep 100% of his royalties. I mean, what a deal.
If you're a new artist, or even if you're like an emerging artist and you're not at least considering DistroKid as your distributor, you're tripping. I mean, people love to bitch and moan about God, you see the comments on every distributor. 2 Lost sucks. TuneCore, fuck them. CD Baby, you suck. DistroKid. Look, DistroKid is a tried and true.
Yeah,
it's tried.
100%.
It's like, I don't think I've said that in real life.
Both tried and true. No, it's good.
Exactly. So honestly, like, that's who we're going to use for Lil Breadstick. We've used it before ourselves for other artists. So definitely we're going to use it for Lil Breadstick.
They got some sick features. They're going to give you some content to get your content marketing started. They got a super clean split system that we've both used personally, get everyone paid on time, crediting people. I mean, it's all there, guys. Like, the tools really are legitimate. We wouldn't say this if we didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So you can get 30% off your first year and support the podcast simultaneously by going to omtdistro.com. That's omtdistro.com. Let's get back to the strategy.
Yeah. So again, we have to get our music everywhere.
Yep.
All right. Everywhere that people are listening to music, we need it there. Okay. And again, let's level set. Streaming is gonna probably be like, everyone knows the numbers. Like, it's shit's pennies. Like,
dude, we know people with hundreds of thousands and millions of streams that literally can't pay rent.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
And again, before you come in our comments and be like, you guys had Nick D on the podcast. He said he made 100,000 a month on streaming or whatever the fuck he said. Nick's not real life. Like,
he's an anomaly.
He's kind of the exception, not the rule.
He has a lyric. He's like, so what's your income streams? It's mostly just the streams. That's not a Lil Breadstick bar.
That's not
anyone else bar that I've ever met. This guy's crazy.
Again, like, he goes viral all the time. He cracked viral content marketing.
He doesn't really want to tour.
Doesn't want to tour. So his whole like strategy is based around this. Okay. Lil Breadsticks is not. Okay. And again, we're not stamping this whole framework on virality. So we couldn't include Nick's strategy as part of this and just really focus on streaming. But it's important.
It is important.
Has to be part of the mix.
Yep. So bottom line here, streams are discovery. Actually getting fans is the business, which is the Thai-based model, how he would do it today. So our money counter is only going up a bit here. Let's say maybe like $600.
That's fine.
On to layer 2. That we are calling the fifth bucket. The fifth bucket? Wait a minute, this is only layer 2, Ben. What's going on? If you guys tapped into our last internal episode where we introduced 200 viral content ideas for musicians, we introduced a 4-bucket framework. And it specifically relates to when you guys are making content and the job that each post has when you post. Because most of y'all are just out here posting, not knowing what the job of the post is for, but got to know what each post is doing. What we didn't tell you in that episode is that there's a 5th bucket, right? We told you about Attract. We're making content that brings people into our world. We told you about the show bucket, where we're showing people the music, we're performing the music, here's the product. We told you about the tell bucket, where we're telling people the story, we're leaning into our artist development, giving people a reason to care. And we told you about the connect bucket, where we're actually like replying, communicating, right? The social aspect of social media that is low-key dying, by the way. That's social media is not even that social anymore. Side note. But the 5th hidden bucket is the convert bucket.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we didn't include it in the viral content marketing kind of episode in our 200 viral content idea framework is because convert bucket isn't exactly like prime time for going viral.
This is more about nurturing the people that we already got.
Absolutely. So again, if you want a whole framework on how to create a shit ton of content, we talked with Patrick Stafford, who literally has helped artists shoot, 200 reels in 2 hours or just crazy shit. But the principles that he shared in the episode and that he posts on his page, we'll link his Instagram profile here.
And a link to his episode right up here, by the way, which we're forcing Lil Breadstick to watch and study that episode, by the way.
Exactly. By the time this is done, he's already watched it.
Yeah.
He's cranking out
several
content,
times. He's got notes.
Posting consistently.
Yes.
And not burning out. Okay.
Yes.
Because again, like the way that Stafford does it, there's some thought process that needs to go into like the world that you're trying to build as an artist, but then it really is like rinse and repeat and cranking out content. Okay.
It's quality and quantity.
Exactly. And so, that's where like attention is the game that we're in. We do have to get eyeballs on your content to then have your song have a fighting chance of reaching someone who then wants to become a fan that we can actually convert right through this 5th bucket.
And the other reason it's a little bit different of a bucket is because the first 4 are mainly about making people care, right? Like giving people a reason to just know who you are and understand the story and maybe wonder what you're up to every once in a while. The convert bucket is where they maybe take an action, right? They maybe click the link in your bio. Maybe you have ManyChat set up, which by the way, go to onemortime.fm/deals. We have a hot deal right now. You can get your first month of ManyChat Pro free by going to our page.
ManyChat.
ManyChat is absolutely mandatory for most of you guys, but the point is, they're taking an action, right? We're getting them to actually start doing some things.
Yeah. And for me, like, I don't love the push content. All right. So all the like 4 buckets in the 200 viral content ideas framework is more pull. So like we're assuming if they do like the song, they like the story behind the song, they like the content, they are going to click some links and poke around and, I'm interested. I want to learn more. I want to listen. I want to, support. So that's going to happen. Okay. But again, closed mouths don't get fed. Like we still need a bucket. And we need some percentage. It shouldn't be at all the majority. Like, don't get us twisted.
It's 1 of 5 buckets.
It's 1 of 5 buckets. So like 20% max, but like probably even less, honestly. Yeah. But it is where we're making an ask of our community to directly support us. And I promise you guys, they want to. Like,
it's the craziest shit, man, how many people literally just don't ask. And the ask is absolutely free. You don't know what people will do to support you because most of y'all just aren't even putting the offer in front of people's faces, man. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we had Mag from Even on the podcast, right? He's the founder of Even, who's a direct-to-fan platform.
Who we're going to get Lil Breadstick on, probably test a campaign on Even, by the way.
For sure, we got to. But yeah, man, like, you know, people will pay for your music and pay for experiences tied to you and your art, like in the thousands, to be honest. And like, yeah, of course, there's like popular artists like the Russell who have crushed it on there, but like the principle holds true regardless, I think, of the stage that you're at. And I think people have it twisted where they think, you know, I have to be an artist of a certain stature to like be able to do this. And that's just not the case, man. Like your day ones are your day ones, regardless of like if you're still, you know, like just getting started or whether you have been doing this shit for, you know, 5-10 years.
And we started from $0, guys. So even if our first asks make us a couple $100, like that's more than zero. You know, we're getting started.
The money counter's going,
Money counter's rolling, baby. So, yep, the idea here is that you can rent a crowd, but you can't keep one, which is this problem that gets introduced, but simultaneously solved with layer number 3. Maybe my favorite layer, very exciting layer. This is the capture.
Ooh, I like the name.
The capture.
It's good.
Capture the flag, baby. Capture the fan.
Capture the fan. That's great.
So we got people taking actions, but the biggest issue is they're still on these social media platforms that we don't own.
God.
They could disappear tomorrow.
Do you remember when TikTok USA was going to just cease to exist and all these TikTok artists were shitting their pants?
They were freaking out.
And they're like, rightfully so, because they didn't have email lists. They didn't have any sort of like fan data of their own. So, I mean, I get it, honestly, but not
to mention the algorithms just not showing you shit from people you follow. You might even have all the followers in the world and your content's not getting shown to anyone because no one gives a shit.
Absolutely.
So we need a place for them to live, right? And this is when we're talking about data. This is when we're talking about email lists. We're gathering phone numbers, email addresses, cities, right? Maybe their age, whatever we can get. We have a database set up so that we can reach them whenever the fuck we want and not when Mark Zuckerberg says we can reach them, right?
Yeah. That is why we built you your own Superfan Tracker, okay? Woo! And again, we're starting from nothing, okay? So this is gonna be really helpful as you're starting to figure out who your people are, okay? So just keep that in mind as Henry kind of walks us through quickly like what it is and where we can find it.
Very excited about this. This is the Superfan Tracker. You guys can grab it for absolutely free right now at onemoretime.fm/tracker. And it looks like this. It's pre-built with lots of smart functionality. It's a Google Sheet, right? So if you don't have a Google account, if you're one of 1% of people in the world.
They have a Google account. Lil Breadstick had one, guys.
If you don't have a Google account, I'm sorry.
We can't help you.
No friction here, no upsells. You enter your email, you get an email that says make a copy, you get the Google Sheet, boom. So the idea here is that we are keeping track of our fans and we are knowing where they came from. We're knowing when the last time we reached out to them was, and we're nurturing them, right? We're making sure that nobody gets underserved, okay? Because we don't have a lot of fans right now. So the ones we have, we're really going to bat for here, okay?
Yeah, for me, I look at this more as like almost like an accountability tracker. Like literally just like you need to start recognizing who your people are on the various platforms. Because again, there's not necessarily a super easy way to like capture who's commenting a lot on Instagram or who's commenting a lot on your YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever, and then start correlating those and figure, right? So like, it's just like getting you to keep this shit in mind and making sure that you're nurturing them. So I love the whole, like, how many days has it been since you last contacted them?
Yeah. So it gets darker and redder the longer it's been. That's a red flag, literally, to comment and reach out to that person.
For sure. And I mean, again, this is something maybe earlier on in your career. As you get a little more sophisticated and as your fan base grows, you're not gonna be able to do this forever, okay? But again, we're talking about someone who's trying to go from 0 to 100K. So this is a good way to at least have you start thinking like this, okay? Then you can invest in all the fancy softwares and shit that can like do some of this for you. But like early on in your career, this can probably help you get the job done.
I think the goal would be to graduate from the Superfan Tracker eventually, but it's pretty sick right now, man. Let me just touch on a couple. So current goal up here, whatever kind of just, if you're starting to try and just get 25 Superfans, right? You type in your goal, everything automatically updates. We have a progress bar to get to your goal. All of our super fans, when you click a drop down over here, you can put someone in casual, engaged, or super fan. If they're a super fan, they'll get a fancy gold little background. And then, yeah, the days counter getting redder and redder, which is just your cue to, you have homework, right?
Hit them up.
This automatically, there's a reach out right here. These are the people that it's been the longest since you've contacted. Here's your top cities, and here is the place that most of your people have come from. So maybe you can double down on that. We're keeping track of our revenue, keeping track of our split. Awesome little resource, guys. One more time, .fm/tracker. Grab it right now. Why not? What are you waiting for? But don't click off the episode still. We got more to go through with Breadstick.
Okay, so as far as the money counter goes, because again, we're trying to like help you guys have this framework of how to go to 100K in revenue. Okay, we're starting to capture people's data, right? Whether it's Instagram handles of people that are super active, emails, etc. Like our first real fan money is going to come from the fact that we're making an offer to our like more engaged /super fan, community. Okay.
Maybe we're selling a t-shirt, comment shirt, for sure.
Exactly. Sure. So let's maybe call it like 40 people buy some $30 ticket item, right? Yep. Again, whether it's a t-shirt, hoodie,
custom mixtape,
vinyl signed,
gluten tapes on vinyl.
V1
on vinyl. Dude, I would buy gluten tapes on vinyl.
I'm buying it.
Fire.
Yeah, I'm one of the 40.
Yeah. But the main takeaway from this layer is that your fan base should look like a list. It should not look like a follower count, guys. This is whether you're using the Superfan Tracker or you're big enough where you can invest and pay for something fancy. It's a list. It's not a number. It's not a monthly listener count. It's not an Instagram follower count. Fuck that shit. Get off that right now.
And it's a list of real people.
Yeah.
Also, it's like
that's kind of why I like the manual aspect of Superfan Tracker, because like typing someone, like there's fancy shit where we don't have to type shit in manually in 2026, but there's something nice about this is this person's name, typing it in one by one, really understanding who they are and soaking it in.
I feel you. Yeah. Until we can afford the fancy software, we got to do what we got to do.
And as Breadstick's co-managers, we are going to try and get him there. We're going to try and graduate him off the Superfan Tracker fast.
But we're watching budgets.
And that's
why we're using the free Google sheet that we came up with.
Well, to get 100K, this is only revenue. It's not profit. So technically he could break even if we wanted to just sprint to the 100K.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're getting off topic. Let's get to the next layer. This is where it starts getting really fun, guys. This is layer 4, and we're calling it the offer ladder, right? So we've introduced one, maybe two little offers where people are starting to actually spend with us. We're starting to see some money. But the offer ladder is where we get to get creative with how we introduce our offers to our audience.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the whole old notion of like 1,000 real fans spending $100 with you.
Shout out Kevin Kelly. I think he introduced that in like 2008. It's been so long. Still holds true.
And again, and that's what I was going to say. A lot of people, I mean, Curtis even was like, fuck that. You only need 100 diehards.
There's a lot of ways to get to 100K. 100 people spend 1,000, 100, the 1,000 people spend 100, 100 people spend 1,000.
Something like that.
There's ways to get there.
Yeah.
The concept remains true.
Yeah. And so I think, that's just like a framework you need to have in your brain, I think, to just, again, wrap your head around. What I think all those examples do is that no one's saying that you need 100,000 people to spend $1.
Right. Yes.
No one says that, because I don't think that's a good way to look at it, to be honest.
But to get to the 100, we might have one offer that's $30, and then you have to do that 3 times a year, and then they have to all, contribute to all of them. It's hard with 1 or 2 offers, right?
For sure.
This is where we ladder them down. We got rungs on a ladder.
And again, I mean, I think what this does is it gives people options.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you're only selling one product
at $30,
at one price point,
that's $30 max.
That's just all they can do.
That's the max. You've capped yourself.
Any business is probably not selling just one tier of one product. Like that's just not a smart business move. So we're running a smart business for Lil Breadstick.
That's right.
So we're going to do things smart. So in this example, we kind of came up with like 5 different rungs of the ladder. And again, we have some examples, but like tailor this to whatever it is that you think fits your artist brand.
This should be custom.
Exactly. But like, these are some good ideas, at least of like kind of places to start. So like rung 1 again is like, let them buy the music somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. Like again, whether it's sell before streaming and you sell it on Bandcamp, you sell it on Even, whatever, vinyls, etc.
CDs are coming back too.
CDs, cassettes, even, dude.
Yeah.
We're doing like cassettes.
Kind of wild.
Yeah. So like, let them buy the music. That could be like anywhere between, like a $10 to $30 type of
20 for a single, $100 for an album. This is, people are doing, like, you guys hear that and you think, who the fuck is paying that when Spotify is so cheap? People are paying that because they care about their favorite artist and they want to support. I'm telling you, it's real.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the pay what you want model for everything.
Seriously.
I don't really see why
be shocked.
You wouldn't. And like, I don't even know if we have pay what you want set up for everything that like we're, merch. Like this is something you can go buy at onemortime.fm/shop, right?
That might be the first time we've mentioned it. So great shout out.
I love this shirt.
It's great.
It's very ironic because we love content.
Well, we have an I love content on the shop as well.
I decided to go negative today.
Yeah.
As per usual. Anyways, and so yeah, that pay what you want is great. Rung 2, love this bucket. I'm like obsessed with doing this with artists. So like any artists that are watching the show, if you do want to hit me up for custom novelty merch ideas,
yes,
I'm all about it.
Yes.
Like again, I'm not going to spend like hours and hours like laboring over trying to come up with it, but I'm pretty quick at some.
It's fun.
And like you had a really good one for Lil Breadstick.
Oh, we're definitely going to sell the custom Lil Breadstick bread baskets.
And again, y'all might be like, that's so stupid. No one's going to buy that. They will.
You'd be shocked.
They will. I'm telling you, like the more quirky and less like generic t-shirt with the we have the OMT logo tees if you want to buy an OMT logo tee. That shit's lame though. Like if you know us, you know we love content, so it's either fuck content as a like ironic joke.
Love and hate it. I mean, it's perfect.
Exactly.
And who the fuck else is offering a bread basket?
Yes.
Merch item. Nobody.
Bro.
You see that in your living room in the corner there, you immediately think of Lil Breadstick. What's his name? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so, that's going to be somewhere maybe like a little bit higher ticket than the music. $40, $50 type of price point. But again, this can all vary. And then rung number 3, this is like that paid community type of approach, okay? Mm-hmm. Patreon, Grouped, who we love as well, is doing really great things for the independent artist community.
We're starting the Lil Breadstick fan club.
Yeah. We're starting his Grouped, man, because again, like monthly recurring revenue, like that shit can add up. Like if they're paying $10 a month for, exclusive access to you and like really high engagement where they get to vote on like cover arts and single releases, like names of songs, lyrics, they get to do exclusive live streams, like maybe like Zoom hangs, custom like IRL events too, maybe where they just meet up at a coffee shop or a bar or some shit. Like do something cool for your community. They will pay you every month. And like, you know how many subscriptions I have that I pay for that I don't even fucking remember paying for? It's like once they set it up, like damn near they might also just even like forget. Oh yeah, that's that $10 a Lil Breadstick. Like that's
who
cool.
else is keeping it so real with you guys? Like, yeah, offer a subscription because they'll forget.
That shouldn't be the strategy, but I'm just saying, like, it's a good, like, it's just a slept-on thing where, like,
you just cooked on the fan club offerings.
Why wouldn't we, bro?
You cooked on that.
So yeah, that's kind of like rung 3.
Yep.
Right. Rung 4, we're gonna take it up a notch again. Okay. So I mentioned kind of like, stuff that you could be doing with your paid community, but you can also do like IRL, like intimate experiences outside of the paid, like monthly,
I have to go out into the world?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's where like the real fandom is made, man.
Very true.
Again, like, maybe do a small intimate listening session or like a small intimate concert where it's like 10 to 20 people, but they're going to pay like 50 to $100 or something, man.
Yes.
And again, like people love exclusive shit and they love having an excuse to like go do something, man. Like we're all sitting doom scrolling, fucking brain rotting on our phones. But like the IRL stuff is still huge. Like we even talk about how can we bring our community to real life, right? Because all this internet shit, watching us on YouTube, listening to us wherever, seeing our clips on social media, like that's cool. But like we want to hang with y'all and like
what's good. And
on artists, like that's even a bigger thing, right? Like we're cultivating a community of people who are all trying to like do the same thing, and like that's really cool too. But like think about fans of artists, bro.
Yes,
they want the access,
which leads to rung 5.
Oh, tell me more, Henry.
Rung 5, we're taking IRL up a notch. This is just a perfect example of like you don't know what people will pay unless you offer it. This is the epitome of that. So we are going exclusive. 1, maybe 3 people buy this and it's an absolute success. High ticket experience, right? So maybe it is like private show again, but like hang with me for the whole day, right?
I got one for Lil Breadstick.
You just cooked?
Maybe like a bread making workshop or something.
Okay.
You bake bread together, bro.
Okay.
Sounds kind of weird, but also cool.
Almost like an all day experience. Shit, you can even level this up to like we go to a sick Airbnb for a couple days and really hang.
That sounds creepy.
We're becoming. Hey, but we're talking about thousands of dollars per person. You know what I mean? This is high ticket. You just do a few and you really serve them. And maybe you don't sell any, maybe you sell one, but you literally don't know until you offer it. That is like a big through line that I just hope that gets through to y'all.
Yeah, or like an exclusive private dinner at like a fancy
Olive Garden. We're going to Olive Garden.
Why did you say Olive Garden?
Lil Breadstick,
but
dude.
Like,
he's sponsored by.
Can't it be like?
He's sponsored by Olive Garden.
But can't it be?
They got bread. Oh, you see what I did? They got some bread to spend with bread.
Christ. But no, man, the whole notion of this, right, is different fans, you know, are going to enter into like different worlds for you, right? From a pricing and like purchasing perspective.
We got to give them different doors to walk through.
And people are just in different places in their life, bro. You might have like a super rich fan and someone who can't even make rent, but does want to like, you know, buy you a cup of coffee type shit. You know what I mean? So we need to offer them things accordingly.
We got to have like 5 doors in our offer ladder hallway. Some people might just get through the first one. Some people might literally walk through every single door in our offer ladder, and we're really profiting now, and they're feeling great because they're supporting, because they love the music.
For sure.
Win-win-win.
So this is where the money counter is starting to go up, like pretty nice.
This is getting real.
We're making real progress here towards the 100K.
We're in the tens of thousands, I would say, at this point, whatever our editor chose to put the number at right now. Before we get into layer 5, which is the big one, of course.
Oh yeah.
I just want to remind you guys one more time, please. Please. It's so easy to drop a like on this video. You can do this in about 10 seconds flat. Drop a genuine little comment in the video and hit the subscribe button, maybe with the bell optional if you haven't done it. It helps us out a lot, man. We have a lot of fun doing this, but you can help us back by just doing a few clicks, man. It really would mean a lot.
This is us drinking our own Kool-Aid.
We're making the ass.
Making the ass.
This was a lesson in disguise.
That was vulnerable, man.
I took a lot for me to ask.
Proud of you, buddy.
But I'm not afraid to ask, because I know some of you guys out there, not a lot of you, but if you just hit subscribe,
right now.
I love you, man.
Okay, get to the fucking 5th layer, bro. This is huge. This one is huge.
This is the one you guys have been waiting for. Henry, Ben.
What is it?
When am I going on tour? When am I performing?
Going to play live, Henry?
I want to play live, Ben.
I'm itching to do that.
Well, you're going to do it in layer 5. We're calling this the room. This is where we get into the room, we own the room, but we're not going to just willy-nilly go play LA and New York because we think that it's cool, right?
Nope.
We have a very smart system for Lil Breadstick based on some episodes that we've done recently that really opened our eyes to some things we didn't even know was possible.
Yeah, I think the legacy way that people toured is, again, they did have to hit like all the major markets, right? And that's because there's the most people there, and you know, whatever other kind of like old school thinking, you know, that people had.
But we have data now.
We have data now, okay? And we have super like creative artists doing some really creative shit that they're talking about on podcasts like One More Time, and everyone else should be copying and replicating this shit because it works and it's smart, okay?
Yes.
The whole like touring, you lose a fuck ton of money thing, it can be true, but again, that's oftentimes because you're making like not that very informed decisions, right? Or you're making an investment in it and you're willing to take that risk. But again, if you don't have the budget, we didn't have the rich uncle funding our career. We weren't fucking Nepo baby industry plant type shit here, okay? We're grinding right now, and we got to be wise with every dollar that we spend, okay?
Yep.
So with the Kells episode, and again, there's another artist that I love, Kennedy Ryan. I think she does something very similar where it's, you know, selling the idea of doing a show in a certain market before you make all the financial investments, okay? So you can put up the fact that you're doing an Atlanta show without having even booked the actual venue yet, right?
Zero risk,
It's
guys.
just-
Pay attention to this one.
Yes, it's getting people to commit at the idea almost of you doing a show in their city.
Yep.
So you're gauging demand, okay? So we're gonna make sure that we have the demand for a show before we actually go through all the motions to make that show a reality, right?
Yep. So we're not pulling up to Chicago with 3 people in the room.
No, exactly. So date, time, and location can all be TBD. And I think y'all are probably thinking like, there's no way that works. It fucking works. We've seen 2 artists that we're just really good friends with do this, and it works successfully. So we know there's more out there that we just haven't talked to yet, and you can do it too. And Lil Breadstick is definitely doing this shit.
Kels is literally selling tickets to a show where she doesn't even know where the fuck the show's gonna be yet.
Yes.
And guess what? If you don't get enough pre-sales, you can cancel the show and offer full refunds. That she bakes that into the price, because we're not gonna go do a show that's going to literally lose us money. We're trying to make $100,000 here.
Absolutely. And the way that this works best is like if you have 25 people, okay, you can go find a venue that economically makes sense for a 25 person show. If you have 100 people, same thing. 200, the list goes on and on.
I think Kel said like if she gets 50 pre-sales, she'll book a 100 cap room is about like an average. So maybe it's like a 2-to-1 just based on what she taught us.
But she also said that then she pushed up on the 100 number and she upped the shit to a 250 cap room.
Yeah.
And like you can do that, no problem, right? Yep. Or again, you sell out the 100 and that's fine. And then next time you go, you have a good feeling that you're going to maybe hopefully pull more tickets, right? But I just love this model. And again, with everything that we're doing, let's go pay what you want.
We're definitely going to pay what you want.
Let's go pay what you want.
People are going to throw hundreds of dollars to come see us live just because we offered it. You guys probably still don't believe us. It is so real, man. It really is. People want to support you. And we're going to give them the opportunity to do that with Lil Breadstick. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so I think the other unique thing about what Kells has done, and I think Kennedy as well, is that they're not letting their ego get in the way and thinking that they need to play that famous venue in the city, right? They're literally booking peer space venues, churches, diners, office spaces, fucking whatever, anything. Right? Like just anything they can get their hands on that, again, fits their budget, fits the city, fits maybe, of course, like the vibe if they can, but they're just not doing this the traditional way. And the benefit of that is that they get to own all the data. All those famous venues, like you take a Vinyl here in Atlanta, it's a 300 cap room, it's a Ticketmaster Live Nation venue. You don't get
mandatory.
You don't get the data.
Nope.
Right. So by doing it kind of on your own and like building it really creatively, you get the data, which again goes back to the capture, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're capturing all that data, we're owning it in our own systems. And I just think that was a huge part of like what Kells and Kennedy have both done that is slept on still, bro.
It's a little more work, but the payoff, right? I mean, and he has me and Ben managing, so like we're gonna help out. Don't you?
No one is watching this show if they're afraid to put in the work, though.
I hope so. So bottom line of Layer 5 is we're touring the demand. We're not touring the dream or the ego,
and that's hard to do. But the money counter just went way the fuck up. By the way,
it did. But Ben, that's 5 layers. That's the 100K stack all filled up, and we're not at 100,000 yet.
Fuck, what do we do, Henry?
Are we chalking this up as a failure? Absolutely fucking not.
Let's go.
Because we're a quick beat here. Let's get Lil Breadstick all the way home. Mm-hmm. The magic hidden 6th layer is the compounding effect that all of this has. We've just created a flywheel, right? That we can now go through this whole process with every release that we have, single or album, it doesn't matter. And each time that we go through the 5-layer stack, it is compounding on top of each other. Every time we get to the next layer, it's more successful than the last one. Each layer feeds itself and gets more and more powerful. So by following this 5-layer stack, couple times, 3-4 times through, I mean, we're blasting through 100K. It's just no way we're not.
Yeah, I just think that like, just like with anything, if you can get 1% better with every release or every, layer, right?
It compounds.
It compounds, right? And so, I mean, the content's getting better. You're attracting and converting more people. Your email list is growing by the time that you're converting them, right? The ladder that, the offer ladder that you're doing, you're going to start selling that to more people. You're going to tweak the offers because you see what people are liking and not liking. The next room is booked off more and more data. You're selling out venues that you never thought that you could, okay? And so that's really the key about this whole compounding effect. And I mean, we've seen it to be true. We looked at our own data of like when we started the podcast versus where we're at now, and the shit is a hockey stick.
It's like exponential.
It's exponential growth, and that's what starts to happen with artist businesses. So don't get discouraged when you're kind of at that like super slow burn in the beginning, bro, because like it's tough. And it makes a lot of people want to give the fuck up because it's not easy to be putting in a ton of work and see kind of just like dollars like, stacking up, and you're just grinding. But I'm telling you, there's like an inflection point with some of this shit, to be honest.
Starts to get really fun if you guys stick with it. So yeah, by lap number 2 through the stack,
we're over the 100K.
Our boy has hit 100K. Let's put some confetti on the screen.
We took 20K though.
Well, actually there's 2 of us. We actually have to probably negotiate higher than 20%, but let's not talk about that in this story. Lil Breadstick is paid. He's got his, excuse me.
What does he have?
He didn't get famous. He didn't sign a crazy record deal. He's got a very smart list of fans that is compounding. He's got real relationships that he's profiting on.
It's a system.
It's a system.
Exactly. And I love that. We're not betting on viral moments, but we hope we get some. We'll take them.
I'll take a viral
right?
moment.
But yeah, so if this was valuable, go to, onemore.fm/tracker. Right? To get the Superfan Tracker and start engaging with those people today. Like, stop procrastinating that shit. I know it's hard to keep up with, but hopefully the tracker helps. And yeah, we're here each and every week.
Until next time.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Bye-bye.